The enemy.
The enemy is like I don't want to give it so much credit, but then again, I'd say there's some enemy out there like the train terrorists. I mean, I've seen them. I've walked into buildings where they've set defenses in and seen left and right lateral limits and a firing stand and all this crazy stuff that I couldn't believe, like booby trap doors and stuff. Like, these guys, they're trained. They know what they're doing. Now, then you got these other guys that are sloppy, that are just running down the middle of the street and spraying AK at you, you know? I mean, the enemy's like real, I don't know how to say it, it's just real complex. It has so many different kinds. You got the suicide guys that, I mean, how do you fight something like that? How do you fight a suicide bomber? I mean, you gotta walk the streets to get your presence out there, I mean, but do you shoot every car that comes near you? Or do you let that car go by and now it blows up half your squad? Either way, you're going to be looked at like you're a piece of shit. So, I mean, the enemy puts us in a hard predicament, like, and he knows it. The enemy knows it. The enemy knows we have the Geneva Convention. He knows what we can and can't do. That's why they hide in mosques and like stuff like that. So, I mean, enemy's almost like a ghost. The only way to see the enemy, the only way to kill the enemy is for us to allow them to attack us first, it sometimes seems like. So.
What are some examples of how the enemy used the your own rules of engagement against you?
Myself and Parker, I was telling you about, our squad went into a building. We were searching the building, and we came outside and we saw a guy setting an IED. And we shot at him, and we know we hit him. It went through like his back, and we followed the blood trail and led up into this mosque. So I took the whole squad up into it and knocked on the mosque. The guy comes out. He's like, you cannot come in here. I'm like, I want that guy right there. You know, I know he's in there. He's like, he's not in here. Just so I'm using that. What we did is we took our boots off and our socks. Two of us had the rest of the squad on security and went in there and grabbed this guy because there's only a one room place. There was no other rooms. So the mount threat was gone. He was right there in that right corner. And like, we grabbed him and took him out. I mean, he was ours. Same with like the Syrians. Like, they'd attack us. I went right over the Syrian border. Or like if we were going to catch a guy at the Iraqi border because we knew he was shady or something, we were going to question him, he'd take off sprinting across the Syrian border and then stop right there on their monument, turn around and look at us like, knowing we couldn't cross it, just like, I don't know, it's hard.
Do you know when you were fighting Syrians specifically, or? I'm
not going to say I knew personally. I knew when it was a local attack compared to this is an orchestrated, trained like attack. Like, this is an ambush. Like, when we walked into ambushes that just for some reason they probably had pre-staged. We were moving at nighttime and went into a building for an OP and found a huge setup ambush with like RPGs leaned up against the wall, like machine guns set up in the door. And like, these guys, if they wanted to, I mean, they could have messed a lot of stuff up with that. I mean, so. Real complex enemy. The question is that, I mean, how does the enemy move so much? Like, he just blends into the public so much. He is the public. The enemy is the public. There's no difference between them.
The last topic is what lessons learned would you